a lot of guys say Mike's got to be taking something because he stays ripped all year round at 47 years of age. To maintain 5 to 6% body fat all year round, all you have to do is eat maintenance calories. It's literally as simple as that. What's up guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we are going to be talking about the, what was just sent to me over email suggestion. So I am surprised these videos still do so well, to be honest. Like, I would think this has been beaten to death to such an extent that people would be like, I don't even give a fuck about this guy anymore. But no, apparently there are, like I did a Natty or Not on Mike OHearn like, I don't know, half a year ago. I don't know, several months ago. The video was like 50 seconds long. It was just me saying like no, pretty much. And you know, I thought that was kind of a funny way to explain how ridiculous it is. And back in January, I actually did a video called Googling best natty bodybuilders and seeing who comes up. This is a good thumbnail. I like this one. And it was like, oh shit, I just noticed this actually. My editor put in "I'm feeling natty" in the Google search. That's fucking clever. So anyways, this search result resulted in the find of a couple websites that rank at the top of Google for Natty or Not discussions, because no one really writes blog articles anymore, which is something I used to do very intensively. Before I actually even made videos, I made blog articles, and the only reason I stopped is because the time investment was far too significant, unfortunately, and I couldn't keep up with my posting schedule while still writing on the blog. So I kind of shifted to video form only without written, which kind of sucks because moreplates.com is kind of the whole foundation of my whole brand. But at the end of the day, there are still apparently individuals who are doing Natty or Nots, but in written format, and they rank at the top of Google because there's like no competition for it. And the first one is one of the main sites that is ranking for all of it. Like, you type in any bodybuilder name, Natty or Not, he comes up. A few people sent me this. Most notably, the most recent Gmail I received, which suggested I look at it, and it is the first search result when you put in Mike OHearn, Natty or Not. And this is the same website that we actually got some of the results from, like I said, for this this video here that did pretty well. So I guess we will see if the same kind of interest is for this one. So anyways, in this one, apparently the conclusion was quite unusual. So Mike OHearn, steroids are natural. So he has a giant table of contents here, essentially dissecting why, you know, what signs you would look for, what visual representations of, you know, fill in the blank, you know, exogenous steroid use that you could be using, stuff like this. So I'll just go through it with you guys. The image of Mike OHearn by Ernie. Oh shit, that's never mind. Mike OHearn is a fitness model, bodybuilder, actor from the USA who's been crowned Mr. Universe 4 times and Fitness Model of the Year 7 times. Mike's also made an appearance on the American program Gladiators, where he appeared on the original show as the Titan and in the later show as Thor. He also happens to think he's Superman. Meet the real Superman, Mike OHearn. Palisades Mall, Sunday, November 22nd. Oh shit. Wonder when that was. It's fair to say that Mike divides opinion. Some say he resembles a Ken doll. Others say he appears more like Ken's Jack douchebag stepbrother. Mike is now one of the most followed bodybuilders in the world. He's accumulated over 900,000 fans on his Facebook page, where he tags several Indonesian children in each of his statuses. What the fuck? He sells duck eggs on his website for $699 and charges $1,500 for an ab wheel named The Frog. And he has like actual like references here. Unsurprisingly, Mike is receiving a lot of hate at the moment because of these high-priced gimmicks. People are also nicknaming him Mike O'Tren. This is mainly due to the fact that like the way this is written is like, it's just making me laugh. This is mainly due to the fact he claims all natty bro despite weighing 247 pounds at 4% body fat. What a feeling. Oh, this is 2015. What a feeling being on stage and showing the world my artwork, my physique, which I work on day in and day out. This is my craft and I take it very seriously. Thank you, Brad and Elaine Craig, for okay, anyway, so he puts all natty bro in his caption here. Rip, 241 pounds. And here's what 247 pounds at 4% body fat looks like. And this is the infamous Rich Piana Mike OHearn collaboration shot. I don't know if he's 4%, but I mean, obviously he's fucking shredded. No doubt Mike is exceptionally muscular for being a natty. However, you can't say somebody's on steroids just by looking at them. If you do a little investigative research and happen to be knowledgeable about steroid side effects, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to get a good idea if the guy is juicing or not. Here's all the factual information I've gathered related to Mike OHearn and the likelihood of him taking steroids. Evidence: Mike's not on steroids. He's passed drug tests. When he competed in the Natural Mystery Universe with the INBA, he would have had to pass several drug tests. This includes a polygraph, lie detector, urine and blood tests, which would have been completed at random times throughout the year. Often, bodybuilders will stop running a certain steroid before a competition so it can pass out of their system in time to pass a drug test. This is exactly how tests can be beaten. Well, there's other ways they can be beaten too, but anyway. However, the INBA performs random testing throughout the year to prevent steroid users slipping through the net. Thus, the random element makes it pretty much impossible for these tests to be beaten on a regular basis. And Mike has four of these titles. Gifted genetics. This is Mike OHearn at 14 years old. Yes, you read that right. 14 years old. Look at his freaking biceps. Couldn't just say fucking. I wish we could see a photo of him at this age in a relaxed front position. I bet he'd look 10 times bigger than what he does in this pose. This ab pose usually makes anyone who's low in body fat look pretty skinny. To be this jacked at 14 years old is ... abnormal. Why it is possible to look like Mike OHearn naturally. There are people on this earth who have extraordinary muscle building genetics. Flex Wheeler, for example, had a rare mutation which caused him to have a myostatin deficiency. Myostatin is a type of protein which inhibits muscle growth. I actually did a video deep dive into this where I actually looked at the study they did on the Olympia caliber bodybuilders and the mutations they had in their genome. And if you want to go see that, just type it in the search bar, Flex Wheeler, and you'll find them. I did one original one where I was kind of basing it off this assumption that he had this super rare myostatin mutation. And then I did a follow-up where I actually read the research myself, and it turns out it wasn't as clear as it was made out to be initially, where they made it seem like he had this super rare thing that nobody else had, when in reality, it didn't appear to be the case, unless I misinterpreted the literature. But to me, it seemed pretty clear-cut that this was kind of a misdirection. And that was one of my best videos, I think. It's just no one really watched it because it's pretty old and it's kind of dry. There's a lot of digging into shit going. But I think if you like my information-based content, you'll like that one. So check it out if you're interested. Basically, they did a genetic analysis of Olympia caliber bodybuilders, guys in the 90s era, several of them, not just Flex, and they actually looked at their genetics to see if they had mutations that made them outliers compared to, normal guys. Myostatin is a type of protein which inhibits muscle growth. As you can probably imagine, one thing to note, by the way, is Flex was not, he didn't weigh that much, dude, and he was saucy as fuck. So when you look at his weight relative to his height and him on stage, and you see Mike OHearn's weight and height and him on stage, it seems kind of unrealistic to be like, well, Flex Wheeler's clearly on gear, who's the guy with the fucking myostatin deficiency, and then Mike OHearn is the guy who's natural and doesn't, has no proof of any kind of genetic mutations. As you can probably imagine, anyone suffering from this mutation can literally get jacked by making eye contact with a set of dumbbells. Animals such as the Belgian blue cattle also have myostatin deficiencies, as you can see from their extreme muscularity below. Other Mr. Olympia greats are also thought to have similar genetic makeup to Flex. These aren't guys who just got big from lifting weights and taking steroids. These guys are freaks of nature, even without steroids. Look at this picture of Phil Heath before he started riding bicycles. How the fuck would you know if this was natural or not? Come on, dude. Obviously, I highly fucking doubt this was natural Phil Heath. On the left, Kai's 30 years younger than Mike OHearn, but is a similar size. Phil looks huge here, too. Dude, what are we even looking at? On the left, Kai's 30 years younger. Okay, so obviously missing a picture. Phil looks huge here, too. How do I know Phil is natty there? Phil doesn't have that square, blocky face like he has now. Plus, his traps are fairly small in comparison to the rest of his body. Whereas now, after years of steroid use, his traps are huge. Dude, I know guys who don't even fucking look like they lift, who take hordes of shit. And then this guy, who literally looks better than 99.9% of guys on gear, looks natty? What the fuck? This is fucked, dude. Whereas now, after years of steroid use, his traps are huge, as are a muscle group that responds extremely well to steroids because of the greater number of androgen receptors. So, if Mike were to take steroids, we're literally saying a baseline steroid user looks better than this. How the fuck does that make sense? So if Mike were to take steroids, he'd only look the same size as Phil now. This is proof that... Is this like a troll like fucking website? Is this proof that given the right genetics, natties can become extremely big? No visual signs of steroid use. OHearn has none of the following steroid side effects: bald, acne, retaining water, bloated, flushed skin, big androgen dominant muscle groups. Dude, what? Crazy vascular. I'm pretty sure he wears a hair system. Acne is genetically determined. Retaining water, I guarantee if he was natty, he would be less full, of course, and less, like, fuck, dude. It's kind of like, obviously he walks around dry and shredded, but I mean, like, there's a certain amount of temporary fluid and just temporary retention of nitrogen and shit you get from anabolics that you would not have when you're off. And obviously the guy would just melt in general and lose like 30 fucking pounds if he came off anyways. So this is kind of ridiculous to even argue. So I'm just going to stop here. Hair, Mike's got a good head of hair on him. He's 47. So if he were using steroids for over 30 years, he'd be extremely fortunate to have this amount of hair left. Skin. Okay, obviously, we know this is genetic, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have his hair on his head at this point. That's just my speculation. Skin doesn't have any acne or blemishes, which is often associated with being on the juice. He has a tiny waist, so doesn't appear to be retaining water. Juice heads often retain more water than a camel. Small traps. His androgen dominant muscles, traps, and shoulders aren't impressive at all. Guys juicing usually develop cobra trapped after a few cycles, whereas Mike seemed very small in comparison to the rest of his body. Mild vascularity. As you age, your body produces less collagen. As a result, an older person will have thinner skin. The thinner someone's skin is, the more vascular they'll be. This is why old dudes who lift have insane veins and look ripped, even if they're not ridiculously lean. Steroids also decrease collagen, resulting in paper-thin skin and enhanced vascularity. Mike is vascular, but nowhere near as vascular as he should be if he was on roids. A guy who's massive, extremely low body fat, 47 years old and on roids equals freaky vascularity. This sounds like the same excuse Ryback had.
I can look at a lot of fitness people out there that have insane big hose veins. I don't have any of that. I never have. I can have my veins pop out if I hold my breath, and there's photos of me in WWE where I'm holding my breath and I have to squeeze with everything I got to get veins to pop out. And when I'm not doing that, I'm very smooth looking.
Mike definitely has worms in his biceps, but he's no roadmap. How does he stay so ripped year round? A lot of guys say Mike's got to be taking something because he stays ripped all year round at 47 years of age. To maintain 5 to 6% body fat all year round, all you have to do is eat maintenance calories. It's literally as simple as that. So if your BMR was 2,500 calories, if you ate that number below each day, you wouldn't gain fat, meaning you'll stay ripped to shreds year round. Dude, you think it's that easy to maintain 5% body fat? This website's fucking brutal, dude. Meaning you'll stay ripped to shreds year round. Nah, it's really not that hard. I've done this myself. Who walks around at 5%, bro? Eating 2,500 calories, please tell me. And imagine how fast Mike's metabolism is. He weighs 247 pounds and is very active. It's not like he'll have to starve himself to stay that lean year round. Think if he was actually 5% and natural, how would he maintain the muscle he has? He would have like no fucking testosterone. A man's testosterone is believed to decrease by 1% each year after the age of 30. So for Mike, it would have declined by 17% thus far, which is a very small amount. Fluctuations in testosterone like this aren't going to make a difference to your total muscle mass. I'm pretty sure it was shown that your total T reduces by 1%, but your free actually decreases by 2 to 3% per year, which is the amount of freely circulating androgens that actually dictates muscle growth. So it's a lot more significant than most people assume. Guys take natural testosterone boosters to raise their T levels by 30% or so, but don't notice any differences in terms of muscle size. This is because your testosterone needs to see a big spike in order to build new muscle tissue. For example, if you were to triple your test levels, you'd make insane gains. But a 37% rise or drop in test levels will hardly make a difference at all. Here's a table based on the result of a 1966 study on men and testosterone levels. Total test, free test, 9.1. Okay. I've highlighted Mike's age range. So if you compare him to this when he was 25, his total test would have decreased by only a few percent and his free test by 25%. When Mike hits 65 to 74 years old, we can expect him to shrink a fair bit if he's still lifting because his free testosterone levels will be almost half of what they were when he was 25 to 34. Verdict, Natty. Despite what the haters say, there's no evidence to suggest Mike's taking steroids. Myco Trend, no. Myco Natty, yes. I'm not a big fan of Mike, but to say he's on roids without any educated information to back it up other than he's too big to be natural is ignorant. If he was juicing, he'd have at least one of the major visual symptoms. Also, there's no way he would have passed all these strict, rigorous drug testing from the INBA over the years and not been found out. A natty bodybuilder? Most likely. Is his physique naturally attainable? For many, no, unless you have world-class genetics. References. So he has 2 references here to kind of make this seem like a fucking university paper level entry here. The author, Ernest Peebist. That is a name I am not certain how to pronounce. Ernst Peebist has spent over 3,000 hours researching anabolic steroids and PEDs. He's also dedicated the last 7 years educating people about their effects, with hundreds of thousands of people reading his articles. He studied countless science papers, read several expert books, and has consulted some of the finest doctors in the world on the topic of steroids. But have you even fucking taken them, dude? That's the question, because you clearly have no grasp whatsoever of what they fucking do. So anyways, that is the top rated article on the internet for Mike OHearn steroids are natural. And that is what they deem to be the, I don't know, most relevant source of information for discovering this guy's natural status. And I don't know, man, like this is a topic that is going to be beaten to death for years, I think, because I think he's in way too deep of a hole to come out at this point, to be honest. And it's just like a fucking meme. So I don't know, man, like he could have so much more respect and I think make way more money if he just like said what he fucking does, but instead he skirts around it and sells like duck eggs and shit. Like it's fucking baffling, dude. So anyways, that's a quick little deep dive into this scientific analysis dissecting the shit out of Mike OHearn's natural status by Ernst Peebist. So anyways, like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplacemoredates.com. Even though I don't write there anymore, I still have some good articles. Comment helps the algorithm, if I didn't already say that. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplacemoredates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic, it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode, pre-workout formulas that design myself from scratch, and anything else I'm associated with, including my recommended lab, tests, and diagnostics, all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.